Welcome to the Heart of Luverne Podcast, bringing you timely updates, important information, and the inside scoop about local issues, services, and upcoming projects.
Hey everyone, we're going inside the Heart of Luverne. I'm Jill Wolf, your city administrator, and with me today is Brian Remme. He is our distribution maintenance crew supervisor with Missouri River Energy Services, but also a team member with the city of Luverne. Did I get your title right this time?
Yeah, there's like 3 different ones you can use nowadays. So
We can just call you whatever.
yeah, just call it whatever.
Whatever comes to the tip of our tongue. That could get dangerous.
Some are good, some aren't so good. So
We'll just leave it at that for right now
Yeah.
and save those for later.
Yep.
But today we are going to talk about the exciting topic of locates. People driving around town maybe see in the right of way these little flags sticking up. You see some red ones, some blue ones, some green ones, some orange ones, and think, what are those flags all about? And there's a pretty good meaning to all of them. Those signify that lines have been located underground, right?
yep, each one of them, each color signifies a different. Like electric is red, communications orange, water blue. So different colored flags represent different utilities.
Right.
Yep.
And with the city, like you said, we have 3 locates that we do. Electric does the red, water does blue, and then we have Public Works identify the storm sewer lines underground, and those are green.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And the orange, like you said, is telecommunications.
Yep.
And this summer, we have some pretty big projects. They're not our projects, but they are some telecommunication companies that are putting broadband or laying some fiber in town, which
Yep.
has brought about a lot of locates.
Yeah. Communication company is putting in fiber optic, and they're doing mainline and drops all at the same time. So some of our locates that come in can extend blocks at a time, and then drops are just a single homeowner from a pedestal to the home. Those we can get 40 plus a day.
So I'm going to kind of stop you right there. Just to explain a little bit more to the listener when you say a main line and a drop. That's digging the hole and putting the line in. Kind of walk us through that at the simplest level.
Well, simple level, you got to have your main support line going through town, and then on the communication side, even electric side, you've got a pedestal that goes that taps off the main line and goes to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And when we say they're digging in, they have a boring machine, right? And
yep, they've got
explain
several.
what that looks like.
Boring machine, it's got tracks on it. It runs rods underneath through the ground, and it's got a head that a person out front can guide it, so to speak.
Okay.
Yep.
And then it kind of digs and pushes the line in all at the same time.
Yep, it digs through, comes to a hand hole, and then they'll pull back conduit generally.
Okay. They put in the conduit and then they run the line through it.
Yep.
After that. So knowing that they're digging underground, it seems kind of obvious to us because when in our everyday work, we look at maps where we see lots of colored lines where there's a lot of underground utilities, but to the average person, they just see green grass. So explain what it looks like if you're looking at a right-of-way. What's underground?
It's a spider web. Several years ago, ourselves, the city, and maybe another, not utility, communication company was one of the few that were underground. Now everybody, and the right-of-ways are shrinking, and it's difficult.
And with all of those lines, it makes it even more important for locates. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess the the process of a locate. So a telecommunications company is going to be putting line in. They get a right-of-way permit through the city, get everything approved. They bring in a crew and they call in a locate. What does that mean, or explain what it means for them to call in a locate, and how far in advance do they have to do that?
So I get, we're with Core Web. I get a list of locates. Whoever calls one in, I get a list of locates. It generally gives a small description on what type of work is happening and kind of a general area. So when you get to the property, you know kind of where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. And you brought up a really good point. Even homeowners, when they're going to dig, even if they're planting a tree or going to put in some concrete, anytime they're digging a hole, they should always call in a locate, right?
Yep, 100%.
And who do they call?
Gopher State.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Ghostbusters. And I was glad you said Gopher State. No. And so Gopher State handles all of those calls in, and then they, like you said, they send it out to the utility. So electric gets their locates, water gets theirs, storm sewer gets theirs. And once those calls go out, do you have a certain amount of time that you have to fulfill that locate?
I believe it's been changed to maybe 48 hours. It was always 24 hours before.
Okay.
So.
And you have a special tool called a locator.
Yep.
Do you want to explain that and what you're actually doing when you're out in the right-of-way locating the line?
So the locator, we've got a transmitter and a receiver. You hook the transmitter up to the ground side of the electric, and then that sends a signal down the wire, and then you take the wand, we call it, the receiver, and that picks up the signal that's being sent down the line.
Okay. And then you have a can of spray paint.
Yeah, this year we've had several cases of spray paint. So.
And then where you find that line is where you paint the line, and it matches that red because you're electric, so you'll always have the red paint.
Yep.
Is it foolproof?
No.
Or what happens when someone is boring line and they hit one of our electric lines?
I think electric's one of the more difficult to locate. The electric has got the best ground out there, so everybody basically tries to bond to you. So you can bleed off on different telecommunications, but
we've had 2 outages. Unplanned power outages.
Yep.
And that happens typically when they're boring and hit one of our primary lines. Sometimes that happens, even when they're located, it's not exact, or the boring machine kind of moves out of the way of a rock or something and hits a line. What typically happens when they hit one of our lines and it causes a power outage?
You scramble.
They call and tell you right away, and you identify where it's at and find the fault.
Yep, homeowners will be calling City Hall right away. So.
Yep, but usually it's localized, right?
Yep.
It's not the entire town, and I think you and your crew do a great job to get the power back on as quick as possible.
Well, we try to.
No, you do good. So these locates, I know this has been an extremely busy year. What right now with this project coming in with fiber, how many locates are you getting on average per day?
I would say yesterday it was 37. The day before it's in that 40s right now per day.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's the highest number of locates you've gotten in a day?
Last week came in Monday morning. It was 102.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they add up. Keeps you guys busy.
Yeah, there's some definite overtime involved. So.
Yes, and overtime gets paid by the telecommunication companies, and we put that in our right-of-way permit. The other thing we added in to the right-of-way permit was no drilling on weekends.
Yep.
Kind of want to explain why we did that?
Just in case there's any, if there's something missed and they're drilling and we get hit, it's a Saturday, might be a couple guys gone, only, might be short staffed. So we just encourage no digging or drilling on Saturday. They're allowed to locate the wires, that kind of stuff, but just no digging or drilling.
Yep. Yeah. And that kind of helps us to control the amount of overtime on the weekends too. And also you let you guys enjoy your weekends without having to be out locating quick.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, anything else we missed on locating?
No, I think
we hit
that's
it.
about it.
It's a pretty exciting topic.
Oh, it's riveting.
Consuming your summer. So
It is. It is absolutely consuming. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Brian, for coming in. And thank you, listeners, for going inside the Heart of Luverne.